Welcome back to Night in the Woods. Let's continue on today and talk to Laurie. Did you go to Harfest? Yeah, ended up in a play because my friend Bea screwed it up. Cool, I ate pizza and watched Blood Gorgon. Blood Gorgon? Italian movie from like 1980. Lots of blood, but it's like theatrical and stuff. Girls' boarding school, bunch of ghosts kidnapping them, taking them to the Blood Gorgon? Yep. Is something wrong? Nah, just... I think I saw a ghost or something last night. I'm not sure. That sounds kind of awesome. It was like the opposite of awesome. Oh, sorry. It's cool. I'll see you later. Good luck with your ghost problem. Thanks. Okay, well, it really does feel like we're living in a bit of a horror movie right now. If I come over here to Mr. Chazakov's roof, I've been told that I can go off the screen this way, which I didn't think to do, and we actually end up on the power lines up above where our house is, which is cool. I like how it's a little bit more zoomed in here as well. I don't think we've really had this field of view in the game before. So this is our house here with the star, right? Doesn't look like there's any interactions that we can get here. Oh, no, here we go. You can see Penderson's house from here. What a ghoul that guy is. He has hated me forever. Just because I put an M80 down his roof gutter. I mean, it's just petty, this grudge. That was like forever ago. I don't know what an M80 is, but I don't think you should be putting things in people's gutter, Mae. Is there just this one? I really love the fog, by the way, and the bloom effect that comes with it. Okay, so that's cool. We got to check that out. Hey, buddy. How you doing today? Sup, dude? Long night. Weird night. What's up? I'll tell you at band practice. Cool. What you up to? We're gonna head out to band practice? Yeah, let's do this. All right. Time for me to mess up Guitar Hero again. Hey, Jam. Back to watch this fiasco again, huh? Yep. You're our only fan, Jam. I'm just here to be entertained. I'm a gentleman of leisure. Nice. Well, hey, one fan is better than no fans. Hey, dude. You okay? You look tired. I was up all night. They were fixing the roof door, and it was super loud. Roof door? Yeah, the door at the top of the stairs that goes out onto the roof. Now I can, like, I don't know, run from that door down in the lobby up to the roof and pee off the side of the building. Yeah, maybe not. But what's to stop random people from doing that too? Dude, it'll be fine. Sorry, I'm just tired. Fair? Ready to go? Yeah, let's do this shit. Pumpkinhead guy. Oh, this is a hard one. I'm getting it. Oh my goodness. That was a really cool song and I butchered it completely. In my defense, I'm playing on a Switch controller, so A and B and X and Y are swapped and it constantly confuses me. Wow, mate, that was pretty bad is what it was. I literally do not know this song. So fast. You just pushed a button. I am so tired. I strained my vocal cords yelling. Awesome. I'm gonna sound so husky. And anyway, I don't know if they're dreams or not. And this guy who I think was a ghost kidnapped some kid and also I think was in my head after while I was sleeping. And anyway, yeah, I think I need to do something because this is scary. Well, that's not what I was expecting to hear tonight. Are you okay, dude? No. I'm kind of freaked out. It probably wasn't a ghost. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, definitely. Okay, fine, I'll go figure this out myself. Oh, dude, don't be like that. You got us. Dudes. Okay, fine. So we need to maybe see if there's like some ghosty stuff happening around here, like from a source we can trust. Such as, does the newspaper have like a ghost section? What? Why is that a dumb question? You know, we could go check the library. For books about it? No, they have the local paper on file, going back a century. If there's some secret history of kidnapper ghosts, we'll find it there probably. Oh wow, I didn't know they had that. I thought it was just like a broken down bunch of old books. When's the last time you were at the library? We actually have one of the nicer ones around. Oh, how? Rich dude who paid for it way back when. Yeah, they set up a foundation and... Never mind, let's go. Can we regroup after? Sure. Okay, we'll be back. Woohoo, ghosties. That's the spirit. That disconnect there between Greg and Angus, I feel, was kind of significant, actually. Look, jobs. Weird, like, when this was painted, it was like, hey, look out the window, we're all working, things are great. Now it's like one of the graffiti murals after someone gets shot or hit by a car. This mural is really affecting you. I forget that we live in separate realities. Mine's clearly better. Ooh, music? Nice. Pumpkinhead Guy. I really want to go back and listen and read the lyrics to that song because I was so focused on messing up playing it so horrendously badly that I didn't get to really see what it was about. So I definitely want to do that after this. Oh, Bee's following me around. That's cool. That's new. Hi. Hey. Closing in 2 hours. Okay, cool. Any idea what the microfiche is? Microfiche. Microfiche. 3rd floor. Okay, thanks. Up, up, up. Oh, you better believe I'm gonna check out all these bookshelves if they let me. They won't let me. I guess we have to do the thing first. Man, it's been a long time since I've been in the library as well, actually. The computer's on. What else is around here? Is this the kids section? Holy crap. What? It's Charity Bearity. What's Charity Bearity? How do you not know Charity Bearity? I assume this is something from school. The school of being 5 frickin' years old. Alright. So this was a thing you liked as a kid? No, I hated Charity Bearity. It does look really hateable. It was like... I'm not sure if we should be talking about kidnapping, but it seems topical. You were kidnapped by a cult, and when they were like brainwashing you, instead of some cult guy with a wavy dagger and a magic mask, that's not... Oh, okay, yeah, go on. Instead of that, it was this effing pink nightmare. You were scared of it? No, I was bored to death. It was talking forever about, like, being kind to others. And, like, I don't know, helping an old neighbor do engine repair. That sounds nice. Charity Bearity helps old Mr. Plonko fix his hovercraft. No, that's the worst part. It always rhymed. Charity Bearity, pink nightmarity. Charity Bearity, I just don't carity. Oh, there's more? Geez, they sure made a lot of these books. I think they're still making them. This one looks pretty old. Charity Bearity, danger everywhere-ity. That's vague and disconcerting. Could have just kept updating that one book. Yeah. It's kind of weird to me from my own perspective because I spent a lot of time working in schools, and most recently I worked with younger children, like primary school age, and going into that job and seeing like some of the old books that I used to read as a kid being in the library and stuff, and then also seeing like new ones that I didn't know were made was like really kind of strange. Looks like someone left something open on this one. It's a resume. Bob Targ, born 1967, 50 years old. Let's see. Experience, mining, construction, well drilling. I never think about getting a job when I'm old. 50's not really old. I mean, you should have money then, right? Ideally. It should be like, guaranteed. Should be guaranteed in general. Mae Borovsky supports universal basic income. You're gonna join the Young Socialist Chatterbox group. Yes. Yes. Night in the Woods is a socialist game. I'm for that. Is that actually all we can do here? Doesn't look like we can interact with the computer again. Oh, we had to go up to the 3rd floor. Also, this music I think is a remix of the title screen music, which I'm not sure I've shown on video. Let's go up then. There's no reason to go back down. I love libraries, by the way, in video games and in real life. Oh wow, it's dusty up here. It's old up here. Sure is. Maybe your ghost is up here. Yep, ghost. Or something. Whatever he was. He walked through a chain link fence, or flew over it, or something, while carrying something. Alright, well, that's even more impressive. So we're gonna go find this guy, because he took someone. And he's like somehow connected to this thing I've been going through, and that's not good. That all sounded a lot more badass in my head. It's okay, it was fine. Huh. Another computer that's on. Strange. Looks like there's nothing else to do here. Alright, there she is. Cool. So... I have no idea how to use it. Really? I can't know how to do everything. I'm sorry, but what expertise have you brought to this thus far? This whole thing was my idea. No, your idea was ghost hunting. My idea is to do at least a tiny bit of research on it. If you think it's so stupid, then why are you here? Because you're my friend, you asshole. Ah. Ugh. Are we friends, Beatrice? Here, let me get this set up. We'll be here all night if your dumbass is in charge. Alright, so what are we looking for? I want to steer. No. Move, I'm steering. Ow. Jeez, Mae. I'm sorry. Okay. How do we do this? Step 1, look at the screen. Step 2, move around and look at stuff. Step 3, find ghost. Sure. Alright. Tragedy at Stafford Mine. An explosion occurred at 6:20 a.m. at the Stafford Mine. All work has been ceased while men attempt to rescue any survivors. So far, 3 men have been pulled out alive along with 20 dead. The explosion occurred 10 miles deep in the mine, and only one group of men were able to escape before the elevator's ropes snapped and the next group of men plummeted to their death. So far, hopes of finding more survivors is low. The main parts of the tunnel caved in due to the explosion, and supervisors are still attempting to piece together exactly where everyone was during the accident. Okay, doesn't seem relevant, but we did learn that there's an abandoned mine up on the hill, I think. That's what Aunt Moorcop said when we talked to her in the last part. So maybe that is actually relevant. New Old store in town center. The Old Pickaxe hardware store is set to have its grand opening this Saturday. We received a sneak peek at the store yesterday, and our town will benefit greatly from this new addition. Roy Burge is bringing 25 years of building experience into his new venture and has stocked the shelves with all the nuts, bolts, and nails you would need for any project, plus the latest in tools. Stop by to see the latest trends in everything from hand saws to hammers. Best of luck to Mr. Burge. This is interesting, but yeah, not exactly about a ghost. Oh, I was hoping we'd get some kind of dialogue there with Bea because it's, about her shop. I'm guessing they're gonna say the same about this. No ghost to be found here. The way you say ghost sounds like you don't believe me. Possum Massacre. Severe violence broke out at the Stafford Mine strike today. The bosses arrived to attempt to renew talks and were taunted by some of the children present. Rocks were thrown and the National Guard and strike breakers opened fire on the crowd. After a few minutes, the smoke cleared and the gory scene revealed. 9 miners are dead with a dozen more injured. A brother and a sister were also shot dead as they were delivering a package of food to their father and uncle who were on strike when the shooting broke out. The photograph of the 2 children, aged 7 and 9, who were shot in cold blood has circulated far outside of our little county. The heinous act led to a personal visit from the governor to the strike site to meet with the strikers. Independent inspectors were also brought in and talks finally began 45 days since the start of the strike. The bosses have agreed to comply to the current safety standards and to honor the demands of the miners. Okay, so I'm kind of avoiding all of the strange paranormal stuff for now, because I just want to get the rest of the lore. There's a lot of this stuff, jeez. This is a lot of stuff. I want to read all of this, so I'm gonna read all of this, but this is probably gonna be the rest of the video. Pie piracy. Now this is a news article. Dear citizens, please make note to keep your pies safe during the pleasant weather we are experiencing. Several ladies have reported pies from their kitchens disappearing at alarming rates. Even worse, the picky culprit is leaving behind only the rhubarb pies. Until this criminal is caught, or the bad weather returns, we remind our housewives to make use of their pie safes indoors or stick to rhubarb. Wow. The Stanley T. Possum statue, known by residents as Posse, is finally slated for demolition. Posse closed in 1967, but Richard Colson, son of Samuel, has had hopes of refurbishing the statue for new generations. Posse stood silent for close to 60 years, witnessing the beginnings of the demise of the railroad, the mines, and the coke works that ushered in his existence. Teens and other vandals broke into Posse over the years, and climbing up through Posse became a rite of passage for many young people in the area. Residents have been torn over what to do with this beloved but derelict structure over the years, but 3 years ago, pressure began mounting to have it torn down. A storm knocked off Posse's ear, and the next year, Ralph Jenkins fell from the staircase and broke both legs. Samantha Colson Glick, daughter of Richard, finally agreed that it was time for Posse to go. The demolition will begin at 12 p.m. Saturday, and viewing areas will be set up at a safe distance. Do we get any dialogue from this? This one? No ghost. Nah, it's a shame. I really wish we got a little bit of flavor from that. Progress Springs in Possum Springs. Randolph Stafford, owner of the Bell's Hole Mine Works, has partnered with Samuel Colson, owner of Colson Coke Works, Daniel Glick, railroad magnate, and prominent business owner Harrison Schreigeist, to make some stunning improvements throughout town. The 4 men desire to build a model of progressive living right here in Possum Springs. The old miners' double houses on Elm Street will be torn down and replaced with spacious single homes. A new elementary school will be opened nearby, along with the new state-of-the-art recreation center, courtesy of Arnold Applebaum. This is in addition to the improvements Randolph Stafford promised the previously striking miners. So this whole thing, you get to see the connections between like the names and the businesses and the history of Possum Springs. This is in itself representative of how the game delivers its narrative, and I've talked about it before several times about how the narrative is not very linear and a lot of the information you get seems out of order, and until you have it all, it's hard to make connections. This is like a visual representation of that, because there's probably an ideal order to read all of this in, but it doesn't give it to you in that, and I think that's really fitting for the game. There's been another sighting of the albino groundhog from a very reliable source this time. Edgar Stuter reports that he saw the pure white beast digging near the Shade Gap. Mr. Stuter has declined to give any more of an exact location and implores his fellow hunters to admire this anomaly from afar and leave him to his business. We could not agree more with this upstanding citizen and remind townsfolk, if you are interested in seeing an albino creature, to stop by Sudi's barbershop for a peek at an albino raccoon. We're certain this will assist your mind in completing the search for the groundhog. Underground gases afflict many. The houses on Larch Street have been evacuated after the discovery of gas buildup in the basements was found to have led to hallucinations in scattered members of the households. For the past several weeks, residents have been complaining of family members who began hearing voices or seeing things that were not there. One older woman was found having an animated discussion with an empty chair. When pressed, she calmly explained that she was talking to her sister, who had passed away some 50 years ago. 2 nights ago, the son of Carson Zimmer ran out of the house and leapt into Cooper's Pond, a 1 mile up the road. Moments before this, the child had been readying for bed and, according to another sibling, became increasingly agitated. The last words he uttered were about some sort of song before he dashed out of the house and into the night where his watery grave awaited him. This last event persuaded residents to request help from officials to see if this is related to St. Leuven's lantern, a phenomenon where exposure to specific underground gases leads certain victims to experience waking dreams, auditory hallucinations, and the sense of unseen presences. Preliminary tests indicate that the gas is present in the homes, and mining officials are moving the residents until tests can be completed. This seems relevant. Really, Mae? You're not... Nothing to say about that, huh? Samuel Coulson has purchased 10 acres of land on the outskirts of Possum Springs. When we inquired as to what Mr. Coulson would use the land for, he would only remark that what was coming here would delight both young and old for year to come. We are very anxious to be delighted. Well, that is a phrase that I think we can all take. The Stanley T. Possum statue is officially open to the public, and we have to say we are smitten. For 2 cents, one can enter Stanley and spend quite a lovely time looking at the Possum Springs of yesteryear in the museum, enjoying some popped corn and fresh lemonade in the snack parlor, decorated with Tiffany glass electric lights, before heading up a full 10 feet to see the sights of our beloved town through the eyes of this grand possum. There is even a beautiful train diorama that will delight both young and old. We predict Stanley T. Possum will be a sight that all passing through our town will desire to behold and will be sure to draw many crowds. So this is probably what Samuel Coulson was working on, since, you know, delight young and old. And then we find out that eventually it got taken down. Huh. Then there's the strike here. I see a name. A strike at Stafford Mine has been called. The idea first arose after the memorial for the 1888 explosion victims. Miners gathered in the home of Arthur Borowski to continue the memorial to their friends. They also began recounting all of the promises the bosses had reneged on this past year, including basic safety measures to avoid another explosion. A group of 20 miners entered the mines to begin the strike, and 30 more joined them before morning. All work has been stopped at the mine, and the miners are now striking in 8-hour shifts. Their wives and children have begun to bring food and water for the men. The bosses have stated that the mines are safer than they were a year ago, and there is no need to act in this manner. So we find out that Arthur Borowski, so clearly related to Mae, is the one who started this this protest, this strike. So I guess the revolutionary gene is in the family. Events. The last trolley will make its run September 4th. Bernie Goss, the longest employee with 25 years as an operator, will pick up passengers starting at the Market Street Tunnel entrance and will end at the trolley garage, where light refreshments will be served and a speech will be given by Congressman Archibald Reed. Twin Club will be meeting at the Stags on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. This month's craft will be knitted hats for the soldiers, along with a potluck. All mothers of twins of any age are welcome. The strike is now into its 30th day with no end in sight. The bosses have refused to meet with the miners, saying their demands are too fantastical. The miners claim that they are only asking for the bosses to adhere to safety standards that are already in the law. The National Guard was called in after last week's scuffle, and the Coulson Coke Works Union has joined with the cause, which has caused an uptick in national press arriving at the site. The women's camp has expanded its services from serving meals to beating any non-union miner from entering the mines. So far, they have been successful in both ventures. Deep Hollow County mourns. The final group of bodies from the 1888 explosion have been recovered, 2 days shy of the 1-year anniversary to the tragedy. These 5 men bring the total of dead up to 112. 2 of the men, Addison Pine and Henry Harvey, were the ones who set off the explosion. Although mine bosses had been informed that gas pockets were present in that section, they had elected not to inform Pine and Harvey of the possible danger. The other 3 bodies belonged to Peter Bledsoe, Christian Stanoff, and Peter Lajther. Peter Lajther's funeral arrangements will be handled by Father Litters, as the man's widow has since returned to Hungary with his 2 orphans. Sound off, opinion line. We would like to remind the men of our town to please refrain from spitting on the sidewalk. This unsanitary habit is unseemly and beneath. Parents, please be sure your daughters are not participating in the new trend of skirts showing the ankles. I do not think we need to remind you which road of brimstone this temporary fashion will lead your dear daughters down. I've been witnessing more and more teenage girls coming into our town on a Saturday night, unchaperoned, using vulgar slang terms, certainly unfit for me to print here, and blocking the sidewalks by walking arm in arm. They are also loud and flirt with boys, unabashedly, while smoking cigarettes. These young ladies need to be stopped before our young ladies get any ideas or our boys fall in love with the wrong girl. Young men have been seen around Possum Springs engaging in the ridiculous behavior of wearing mismatched patterns in their suits. This type of outfit may be all the rage in Bright Harbor, but good luck getting any respectable businessman around here to employ you. You all look like rabid clowns. Councilman Puchensky's plan for Third Street is a joke. What else is there to say? Alright, ghost content time. Ghostly rumors haunt New Historical Society. The Possum Springs Historical Society's conversion of the Schregeist House into its new headquarters and education center has hit a snag. Custodial head Jed Newsom has resigned, citing strange occurrences in the old manor. I'd be there after hours doing my work, and I'd hear someone walking around trying the doorknobs. I came out to see who was fooling, but there was never nobody there, said Newsom, trying to get this mat room operational for the children while I'm looking over my shoulder expecting to see God knows what. Mr. Newsom has previously requested to work only during daylight hours when other staff were present in the building, but even that proved to be too terrifying. I don't go to the off-limits area anymore. I don't go up past the 2nd floor and then only to go to the office. I know the others laugh, say I'm seeing Little Joe or something, but they can all go spit. Little Joe, for the uninitiated, was a local ghost story popular some years ago. The Possum Springs Historical Society has refused to comment on Mr. Newsom's claims at this time. So this house makes me immediately think of the lyrics to Weird Autumn, actually. Maybe that's what that was inspired by. Oh, we should interact with that one, actually, because that's something supernatural. Hey, hey, hey! Ghost spotted. Historical Society? Yeah, I've never been. You didn't go back in school? I think this was when I wasn't in school. Oh, after the softball incident. Yeah, mostly just watched TV and did therapy. Well, it's actually a pretty cool old house. Used to be owned by one of the mine owners or something. Railroad mine, steel mill, something like that. An actual haunted house? No. Elementary school kids are there all the time. They had, like, summer arts and craft programs. Oh well, still worth checking out. Okay, cool, that's a thing to do. Strange but True, A Tale of Teeth. Okay, relevant. Strange but True is our ongoing series about the weird and forgotten aspects of Deep Hollow County history and culture, published weekly. Bad bosses figure heavily into Possum Springs history, and this morbid tale of crime and secret societies is no exception. The story goes, in 1870, a local mine boss was skimming workers on their pay. A group of miners confronted him while he was in the act. He denied everything, with many a slur, and punched the miners' leader, Darnell Glace, in the face, causing him to lose his last remaining tooth. The miners knew how much Darney's tooth meant to him, and they all descended on the boss. A few held the boss down, while others removed all of his teeth with pliers. The teeth were passed out to the miners, and a secret society was created with a vow to protect the workers' interests. Membership was based on owning one of these teeth, and each was marked with a symbol of their choosing. These symbols were used around the coal patch to organize meetings and make announcements. The boss survived his attack, but never named his attackers for fear of implicating himself. When he died a few years later, members dug up his grave to retrieve his skull. It was used in ceremonies performed before going out for retribution. All would gather around, place their teeth into the sockets, and later retrieve their tooth after retribution was completed. Upon a member's death, their tooth would be passed to a new member. Teeth of members in jail would be left in their sockets until their fates were decided. After the strike of 1889, the society dwindled. Occasionally, a descendant of one of these men will find a tooth with strange markings in their home. Strange, but true. Oh wow, this is gnarly. And awesome. Oh my god. Yep. I think Mae realized. Local ghost Little Joe at it again. As the school children are quick to inform you, Possum Springs has at least one resident who won't show up on any census survey. Little Joe, purportedly the ghost of Joe Shade, a miner who died in mysterious circumstances some decades ago, is a favorite spook story of the whimsical and weird members of our community. His most recent activities seem to involve getting up out of his coffin in the old section of Possum Springs Cemetery and strolling around, unnerving visitors to the largest graveyard in Deep Hollow County. His grave has become a destination for unruly and often destructive local youths. And as such, Possum Springs City Council is considering erecting an iron gate to protect the historical tombstones that fill the small hollow where Joe Shade lies buried. Police have also stepped up patrols in the area, so be warned, thrill seekers, you may not see a ghost, but you may see a fine for trespassing. Oh look! Scooch so I can see. Graveyard, that's a gimme. I mean, if you're looking for ghost stuff, that's where they make a lot of them. Looks like they saw him in the old section. Oh cool, that's where his grave is. I'm actually interested in that. How could you not be interested? This is like actual dangerous ghost stuff. I like history. Ghosts are history. History that won't stay history. That's actually pretty good. I like that. That's a good way of thinking about it. Alright, I think this is the last one. Spectral happenings at Possum Jump. Two local sweethearts were startled this past Sunday night as they hiked along the wooded overlook known as Possum Jump. According to the Lovebirds, at approximately 11:45 p.m, a figure appeared to walk from the edge of the cliff out into the open air and then disappeared. Forestry workers the next morning were unable to locate any evidence of anyone having leapt from the great height, leaving the exact nature of what the two saw a mystery. A decent height up into the state forest hills, Possum Jump is famous for its beautiful view of the Echo Reservoir. It also holds historical importance as it hosts the lonely graves of several persons involved in the Possum Massacre. Hey, look at this. Yeah. Looks like Possum Jump? Let me read it. It's Possum Jump. Oh yeah, that's back up in the state park, right? Yeah. Ever been up there? Nope. Gonna check it out though. Go nuts. That's actually probably only a mile or so from Mrs. Miranda's house. Back up in the hills. All kinds of stuff up there. Well, I'll try to avoid any basements. Or corpse husbands. Co-signed. Oh, well, that's like 3 leads. Let's boogie. Let's boogie. Also, is that it? Now, let's look at more stuff. I'm just gonna double check that I've read everything. I think I have. Yep, that's everything. So we got some leads. Can I borrow your car this week? Do you even have a license? I mean, no, regardless, but do you? Nope. No license, no credit cards, don't believe in money. You just believe in other people's cars and money. I didn't choose to be born into this society. Okay, well, I have, a job. So I can't drive you around to all these spots. I can maybe do the graveyard. I need to go there anyway. Cool. I'll see if Greg wants to do the other 2. And I probably don't have to say this, but just because something happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen again. Hey nerd, ever hear that history repeats? It does. It does the same thing over and over again. So we've just been in a loop since we were living in caves? Yep, that's science. Oh my freaking god. Well, there's a lot to digest from that. We got a lot of lore there. Oh, Selma's. Well, we are way up on time now, so we're going to have to talk to Selma's in the next part, I think. As always, your feedback and advice is greatly appreciated. Today's question of the day, Do you believe in ghosts and the paranormal? Personally, I don't, but things like ghost stories are really interesting to me from an anthropological point of view. Just thinking about how the stories were created and how they were passed on in society is really interesting to me. I look forward to reading your responses. And until the next part, thanks for watching, and take care.